Hey, I'm gonna build another Drystone wall right here to frame one of our garden beds without heavy machines and using these rocks, just as I did with this wall around the terrace, or this one supporting the garden above our future driveway. But first things first, I need to tidy up the construction site a little. Good. Now I can also see the trench again, which I dug out a few months ago. Just didn't get to this project since. So this will be one of 4 quite big garden beds, and I'll show you from up there. There will be 4 main beds, here, and 2 on this side, each with 9 times 3 meters. And there's a slight slope down towards the house. And due to this slope, I want to build the walls only on 3 sides, so we'll still have a level bed and the water does not flow off, washing the soil away. We can still then enter the bed from above the ground level, and we have a nice little wall to sit on the lower edge. In order to determine the height of this wall, I use this 2-meter long water level, place it on the ground up there and hold it horizontally, measuring the vertical height down here, which is about 16 centimeters over 2 meters, so that means over 1 meter there would be about 8 centimeters height difference, or an inclination of 8%. This garden bed will be about 3 meters wide, so I will make my wall at least 3 times 8 centimeters, 25 centimeters. I think I'll at least go with 30 centimeters. If you know a little geometry, you also know that the inclination is 8 divided by 100, so you can easily calculate the slope using the arc tangent of 8%, which is about 4.5 degrees. Let's go! I'm getting some gloves. I made this trench about 20 centimeters deep and wide and filled with gravel I still had from paving our terrace. And as with the terrace, I will use my DIY hand ram for giving the ground a little additional compression. But actually, and that's one great thing about drystone walls, they don't really need a foundation. They can in principle be built on the naked soil. A foundation is supposed to be a not-moving base for the wall to avoid cracks and movement, which could otherwise, for example, be caused by frost heave. That is water expanding beneath due to frost. But a drystone wall doesn't need mortar or plastering, which could crack, and for the lack of it is even able to absorb forces by reshaping and settling into a new stability. Still a good reason to skip the gym. Okay, first I'm looking for the biggest and heaviest stones to go on the corners. That's okay. The gravel layer helps to compensate for uneven shaped rocks like this, which would be kind of hard to stack up neatly higher up the wall. but put face down into the gravel, it's easy to use rocks with only one flat side or no parallel sides and still bring them to the same level for the next row. Actually, heavier rocks should go further down in the wall to carry the rocks above and thus enhancing the wall stability. But this I will ignore because it's gonna be so low a wall that the pressure from behind will be just way too little to make me worry. Usually pressure increases with the height or depth, just like in this formula for hydrostatic pressure. Now I know that soil is not a fluid, and as long as the soil is dry, acting as a solid, it will be applying almost no pressure on the wall whatsoever. It's when the soil gets wet that problems occur. Then individual layers of the soil can start slipping off each other, acting like a fluid and pressing against the wall. The water itself, by the way, won't be able to build up any pressure because drystone walls are permeable to water, another great advantage over your standard cement-bound wall. But as with water, the pressure would grow with the depth of the soil behind the wall, which is the reason why dams are a lot wider at the base than at the top. And that's just what I did with our driveway wall. Here a photo where you can see the base, versus now where only the top is visible anymore, which is a lot smaller. But with a 30 centimeter high wall, there's nothing but the top basically, so a fairly thin wall, ignoring some rules for stability, will still do the trick here. I hope, at least. Nevertheless, I'll go with some heavy stuff on the corners. Okay. All right, that was the last one of the bottom row. Now I'll fill up the remaining gaps with some gravel. Alright, that's it for today and for the first part. Next time I will build up on that using actual Drystone wall building technique. Let's see if the bottom row is stable enough. But I will find out about that next time. See you!